Need something?
Paladin dance.
What do you want?
Your thoughts?
Let's talk to Proctor Tegan. I bet he has some excellent mods for our power armor.
Your thoughts?
There's Brotherhood, then there's everything else. Nothing in between.
Your thoughts?
I really should have my armor adjusted while I'm here.
Didn't have anything else.
Affirmative.
Hey.
What do you want? I've served on this vessel for years. It's the only home I know.
I didn't like this rust bucket. Oh, sure, the Prydwen's a fine ship. but
Hey.
Put me in the
You fry up a
field
hunk
any
of
day.
cram with a little Nuka-Cola. It almost tastes like food.
There. Try it now.
Nothing. I was supposed to report 10 minutes ago. If you can't fix it...
I can fix it. You're the one who decided to kick your way through a mirelurk. Got it.
There it is. Thanks, brother. I owe you.
Hey there.
How can a machine believe it's alive? It's ridiculous.
Why are you bothering with that?
Liberating the Commonwealth is a huge responsibility. But we'll get the job done. By Elder Maxon's orders, all forms of technology should be confiscated or collected.
I get off duty, that Salisbury steak is mine.
Food in the mess hall isn't bad. Well, as long as you don't smell it before you eat it.
Hail, Knight.
Feels like you can take on the world in there, doesn't it?
Ingram?
So, you're the new recruit I heard about. Huh, not what I was expecting.
Sounds like you're disappointed.
Not disappointed, just surprised. You don't look like one of the usual wastelanders we pick up. Anyway, since you came down here to meet me, we may as well get it over with. My name's Ingram, and this lovely little grease pit is where you'll usually find me. If your power armor's too tight in the crotch, the Pridwin's about to crash into the ground, or a robot's gone haywire, you come see me.
While you're at it, my car's making this weird grinding noise when I back it out of the driveway.
You're gonna have to take a number. There isn't a day that goes by on this tub without 5 or 6 things breaking down. And since I'm stuck in this rig, I'm not quite as spry as I used to be. The work tends to pile up.
You feel like telling me how you ended up that way?
That's a little personal, don't you think?
Would it help if I promised not to tell anyone else?
Okay. Get you off my back about it. I was fighting with the Brotherhood in the Capital Wasteland. Worked at a staging area for the power armor troops. Our position was along a ridge line overlooking the battlefield. I'd say it was a 100-foot drop, give or take.
That's quite a drop.
The enemy had no way of getting to us up there. It was a perfect liftoff point for the vertibirds. To make a long story short, the ridge I was standing on took a hit from a nuke. Sheared most of the cliff right off, and caused the platform I was standing on to tumble over the side. If I hadn't been test piloting one of the power armor suits at the time, I would have died.
It's a miracle you survived.
Nope, just simple engineering. My power armor absorbed most of the impact. And I wouldn't call having both of your legs crushed surviving. Anyway, I'm sure you're here to get your hands on some power armor. There's a pretty decent T-60 suit sitting in Bay 3 that's all yours. The left leg actuator's a bit sticky, but it'll keep the creeps off of you. Oh, and if you need any work done on it, feel free to use the workshops around here. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to work.
Proctor Ingram.
Joining our
My
cause
list
was
of
the
maintenance
wisest decision
fixes
of your
keeps
life,
getting
sister.
longer and longer.
Heads up.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Step forward, Knight. Even though they've locked me in this blasted cage, I promise that I won't bite.
You must be in there for a reason. Maybe I'll keep my distance.
I'm only having a bit of fun with you, Knight. Now, this is the stowage depot, and I, as you probably already guessed, am the ship's quartermaster, Proctor Tegan. The powers that be have me locked in here, so I can keep an eye on the Brotherhood's valuables. If you need to stock up on supplies before you head out on a mission, this is the place to buy them.
So if I'm out of caps, I guess I'll just defeat the enemy with my bare hands.
There's plenty of spare ammo and equipment all over the ship. You can help yourself to anything you can find. Everything in here is a bit more specialized and unique. The good news is by having a constant flow of caps, I'm able to buy whatever you bring me. Yeah, I'm mostly interested in weapons, but I'll take anything useful. Of course, if you're just looking to make a few caps on the side, I might have some extra work for you to do.
As long as I don't end up in the brig.
Don't worry. Last thing I'd want to do is get our newest recruit in trouble. It just involves a little bit of heavy lifting and interacting with the local farms. And since I'm stuck up here manning this one-man zoo, I need someone to do the legwork for me. After you're done with the meet and greet, we can discuss the details. In the meantime, if you ever need anything else, a gun, a mod, even ammo, you just let me know.
Tegan.
Remember,
If
come
you run
find
into
me
any
when you're
sense,
done meeting the rest of
Shoot
the
to
crew.
kill. We don't take prisoners.
If you need it.
Greetings, Knight.
If you keep hoarding that garbage, you're going to slow us down.
Glad you finally stopped by, soldier. Are you ready for your medical exam?
As long as it doesn't involve petroleum jelly and rubber gloves, I'm ready.
No. This isn't that sort of examination. I'm going to ask you a series of medical-related questions, and I'd like you to answer me to the best of your ability. First question. As a child, were you ever exposed to radiation for an extended period of time?
There wasn't that much radiation around before the bombs fell.
Before the bombs? What? Let me check my notes. You were a vault dweller? You're probably healthier than anyone else aboard. Anyway, sorry I missed that in your records. Just going down the list of questions. I'm sure you understand. Okay, second question. Have you ever had or come in contact with a person confirmed to be carrying a communicable disease?
Never been seriously sick in my life.
Good. Third question. And please, answer honestly. Have you ever had sexual relations with any species considered non-human?
Well, there was this one really ugly guy in college. I mean, I had to get drunk and it was a dare.
That hardly qualifies, so I'll just put no. Last question. Would you have any problems pulling the trigger on an enemy of the Brotherhood, whether they're human, formerly human, or machine?
That's more of a morals question, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I feel that the mental state of the crew is just as important as the physical. Anyone that hesitates firing in combat due to misguided moral standards certainly isn't Brotherhood material. So what about you? Would you have a problem with it?
If my life's in danger, I'll do whatever it takes to defend myself.
That's an acceptable answer, and the most common. Excellent. I think I've got all the information I need. I see no reason to prevent you from beginning your duties immediately. If you ever need medical assistance, you let me know.
Ah, good. You're finally here. Just set the books down anywhere. I'll get to them as soon as I can.
What? Not even a thank you?
I hardly need to... Oh my. It appears I've mistaken you for someone else. Since it's obvious that you aren't who I was expecting, would you mind telling me why you're here?
I'm asking myself the same thing.
I don't recognize you. Which leads me to the conclusion that you're a new recruit. Specifically, the one that Paladin Dance described in his report. Under normal circumstances, I'd provide you with a proper orientation of my department. However, I'm woefully behind setting up research patrols and getting bombarded with requests for technical documentation. Unfortunately, I'm lacking the personnel needed to get the job done.
If you want my help, just ask already.
I wasn't aware you were interested, Knight. As you patrol the Commonwealth, keep your eyes open for blueprints, memos, manuals, books, charts. Anything containing useful technical data. I'm authorized to pay you for each bundle of documents that you recover. And if you wish to be assigned to a research patrol, I have plenty of them waiting to be filled. In any event, it was a pleasure to meet you, Knight.
Proctor Quinlan?
Ah, Knight. You have technical documents, perhaps? Or looking to assist on a research patrol?
Looking for medical assistance, soldier?
Could use some supplies, actually.
No problem, soldier. Take a look.
Carrying too much gear is tactically dangerous, soldier.
Hungry. Rations are first come, first serve. Mess is self-service, sister.
Can't believe
You take what you need.
my orders from Elder Maxon were
Kate
approved.
won't clear me for
Looks
duty.
like I'm gonna be a soldier. Really?
Giving me
I had no idea. I thought you liked being a scribe. I do. But after hearing what Maxon said about the Commonwealth, I think I'd be better off out there on the ground with our brothers and sisters.
This frame is driving me crazy. I've got like 3 itches I can't even scratch.
We'll stop the Institute. For Maxon and for the Brotherhood.
You're looking to pick a fight? I'll help you end it.
I'll take a look.
Be my guest. What brings you to me today?
Nothing today.
All right. Can I help you with anything?
Let me see what you have.
Got some choice weapons that just came in.
There. That should hold.
Thank you, sister.
You know, we wouldn't have to worry about them getting out.
Feeling a
if we
bit
weren't on
nostalgic?
shift.
Your concerns are noted, Scribe. Give Proctor Ingram my thanks for letting me borrow you.
Can you believe synths are replacing humans with exact duplicates? Makes me sick.
If you're looking for another safe haven, there's shelter and supplies at the police station in Cambridge. Taking on a Deathclaw without backup is a great way to get yourself killed.
The ends justify the means when it comes to freeing the Commonwealth.
Feel free to have a look at the specimens, but please don't touch anything. I refuse to be held responsible if you're injured.
Quite a collection you've got here.
Well, thank you. Most people don't appreciate the important work that I'm trying to do here. I'm on the cusp of discovering how these creatures' bodies have adapted to the radiation that's infiltrated their habitats. If I can crack the code, I can equip our troops with a protective compound far superior to Rad-X.
What do you mean, crack the code?
The genetic code. The DNA sequences that are in every living thing. You see, the ionizing radiation left behind by the Great War kills because it damages most living things on a cellular level. However, after several generations, these creatures' bodies have adapted by altering their genetic makeup to prevent cellular disruption. I believe I've discovered how I can replicate that genetic restructuring rapidly. Instead of decades, I can do it in moments. For a short period of time, anyway.
I'm sold. If you're looking for someone to help, you can sign me up.
I appreciate the offer, but unfortunately, I've hit a stumbling block. The specimens I've already captured can only produce so much blood and genetic material. If I try and harvest too much, they'll die. What I need are more samples of blood from the creatures roaming the Commonwealth.
Wasn't planning on getting killed for science anytime soon.
You don't have to do anything out of the ordinary. I've modified your Pip-Boy to scan the corpse of any freshly killed creature that has the proper type of blood in its body. All you have to do is pick up any viable sample and bring it back to me. Hey, I really appreciate you doing this for me. It's nice to know I'm not the only person in the Brotherhood with an open mind.
Scribe Naraya.
Have you collected any blood samples, Knight?
That depends. Are you still paying for them?
Absolutely. I received the approval. Did you have any samples for me?
Yes. Here you go.
Is this some sort of a joke? I don't know what that is, but it certainly isn't a viable blood sample. Do you have any or not?
No, sorry.
Drat. Well, maybe next time. I really appreciate you searching for the blood samples. As soon as I make a breakthrough, I'll let you know.
In my experience, hotshots and big mouths end up with closed casket funerals.
Never forget, you are the eyes and the ears of the Brotherhood. If you see or hear anything suspicious, it is your duty to report it immediately. We live in enemy territory now. Your vigilance could mean the difference between life and death. Understood?
Yes, sir! Yes, sir!
Good. Ad Victorium, Squires.
Ad Victorium! Ad Victorium!
Dismissed.
Squire?
I'm not scared of synths. They're just like robots, right? I wish I could fight with my brothers and sisters.
Hey there.
Watch your
Elder
step on the
Maxon
flight
says I'm
deck.
not old enough.
It's a long way down.
I'd just leave that if I were you.
Proctor Ingram said she needed this suit tested yesterday.
Yeah, I get it. Just, what if I miss?
Don't.
Okay.
Oh god, mold having a stick is really bad.
Excuse me. Everything holding together?
Trust me, you'd know.
Good. Firing.
All right. It's not fun. And you didn't scuttle the ship. Thanks, Initiate.
Sure. Anytime.
Got it. Sweet.
You know what 10-pound cockroaches do to a frequency regulator? I can guess.
Don't be smart. You want to see the Brotherhood's greatest warship brought down by bugs?
All right.
Just don't tell anyone, okay? Food's not allowed near the instrumentation.
Doesn't it feel good to be a part of something as important as the Brotherhood?
I'd gladly lay down my life if it keeps humanity from repeating the apocalypse.
You know those synths with the plastic faces? They creep me the heck out.
I think you should stay on point. Your instincts seem to be right on target. Waiting your command.
Yes.
I've heard of breaching a door. This is a lot quieter.
Recon report. Knight Wagner recording. It appears the intel claiming the old CIT ruins house an entrance to the Institute was incorrect. My scouts and I spent days combing the location for a way in and turned up nothing, other than a couple of minor casualties. When a contingent of synths boxed us into an old tunnel where we were sniffing around. My immediate recommendation would be to follow the trail back on whoever provided that intel. I suspect some wastelander is feeding Proctor Quinlan lies to earn some caps.
Medical report, Knight Captain Cade reporting. I've been working closely with Scribe Naraya, examining some of the synth bodies that our recon teams have recovered. Even though we have yet to recover the synths that appear completely human, these lesser models are still astoundingly advanced. What's becoming apparent is that the Institute is the most technologically gifted enemy we've ever encountered, and therefore exceedingly dangerous. I've turned over all of my data to Lancer Captain Kells, along with my recommendations for developing effective countermeasures for these synths. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how much it will help, given the fact that the real enemy are the synths that could be hiding among us.
You know, before getting shipped to the Commonwealth, I thought Elder Lion still had some good points. The Brotherhood in the Capital Wasteland, they were about helping. But this assignment, it's opened my eyes. On the flight here, we passed city after city, buildings taller than I've ever seen, some that nearly clipped the Pridwin. And who uses them now? Mutants. Freaks. Seeing all that destruction, tens of millions dead, brought on by technology run amok, it made it so clear. Elder Maxon is right. The wasteland needs to be cleansed, and we're the ones to do it.
Personal log entry 142. I can sum up living on the Pridwin in 4 words. I miss field assignments. Don't get me wrong, the research we're doing is exciting stuff, but life on this ship is a nightmare. I'm trapped in this metal tube 18 hours a day. I still can't decide who smells worse, the soldiers or the mole rats. And what passes for conversation among the grunts makes mutants seem scholarly. I'm gonna speak to Proctor Quinlan. Field scribes cannot have it this bad.
Damn it, Scribe. I told you I didn't want the corners bent. The issues were to be in mint condition.
I'm sorry, Proctor, but this is the only limited edition annual we've recovered. Even before the bombs fell, this was the rarest issue. The one where Grognak dies and comes back to life?
Yes, Scribe. I've read the 2076 underlane price guide from cover to cover, so I'm well aware of its past value. The fault for this travesty rests squarely on your shoulders, because you chose to ignore the important lesson I taught you. Which is?
Always bag and board. I'm sorry, sir. You're absolutely right. And I promise it will never... Sir? What's that red blinking light on your terminal?
What? Oh, damn it all! I left it in record mode. Just let me...
While I appreciate your attempts at diligence, Initiate, the sheer volume of complaints you have filed implicating your brothers and sisters as synth agents has done irreparable harm to ship morale, as well as your own credibility. Proctor Ingram, Paladin Dance, Elder Maxon. I understand the stress of our mission is great, and for that reason I am inclined to show leniency for the damage you've done. Your reassignment will be effective immediately. Welcome to Recon, Initiate. Do us proud.
What's on your mind?
Your thoughts?
Give me a laser rifle and my power armor, and I'll take on the world.
Your thoughts?
You watch my back, I'll watch yours.
Your thoughts?
Give me a laser rifle and my power...
How do you think things are between us?
I'm not sure right now. Perhaps you should ask me that later.
How do you feel about us?
I don't see how this is a relevant question right now.
How do you feel about our relationship?
I'll inform you when I'm ready to make that kind of determination.
Just wanted to check in, see how you feel things are going between us.
I don't see how this is a relevant question right now.
That was all.
Very well.
Shopping at night? Diamond? So what, you're in the Brotherhood of Steel now?
Officer.
Heard you'd rescued Valentine. Good work. Most sense scare the hell out of me, but Nicky, he ain't like those Institute psychos.
If you have a moment, there's something I'd like to discuss with you.
Does it have anything to do with the Brotherhood?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. This isn't a formal meeting. I simply want to clear the air. I think we may have gotten off on the wrong foot when we first met, and I feel like I owe you an apology. Expecting you to embrace the standards of the Brotherhood without having a history with us was unfair. And given that you've adjusted so well to our beliefs, I don't think I needed to push so hard.
That's very kind. Thank you.
Well, you deserve it. When I was an initiate, my sponsor was Paladin Krieg, toughest squad leader I ever served with. He was a model soldier, embodying the values every trainee was striving to achieve. Fiercely loyal, secure in his beliefs, and brave to a fault. From the moment I was assigned to his squad, I was singled out. It felt like he was pushing me harder than the rest of the team. I fought by his side for years, and we had some seriously close calls. But he never explained to me why I was treated that way.
Did you ever ask him why?
I'd considered it, but unfortunately, I never had the chance. After I was promoted to Paladin, and I'd moved on to my own squad, I received word that Krieg was killed at Adams Air Force Base. The news was like being kicked in the stomach. I mean, I'd lost some of my brothers and sisters before, but his death, well, it really got to me. It's taken me a long time to realize it. But the reason Krieg was so tough on me is the same reason I'm so tough on you. It's because I believe in you. And I don't want to see any of your potential go to waste.
What happened at Adams Air Force Base?
Back in the capital wasteland, the Brotherhood was at war with a traitorous group of rebels who called themselves the Enclave. They maintained a mobile command post at the remains of Adams Air Force Base, just outside of Washington, D.C. The Brotherhood spearheaded an assault on the command post, which was ultimately successful, but costly. Quite a few soldiers died in that battle, and Paladin Krieg was among them. He made his mark on history. And whether you choose to believe it or not, you have the potential to do the same.
I'm flattered that you have so much faith in me.
You've earned that faith by your own hand. Well, I've said what I had to say, and I hope that it meant something to you. I trust you'll keep this in confidence, of course. Some of that information was of a personal nature, and, well, I'd like to keep it that way.